So I bet you're wondering why it is that I'm sitting in a parking lot in a car out in front of a Walmart. Well, I had to pick up some supplies because I've been in Vegas for a few days for a work conference for the full-time gig, and now I am loaded up and heading west. First stop, Death Valley. It is currently 93 degrees according to the dashboard, and it's only going to get hotter. I do have water, whole flat of it with some ice, and let's see how this goes. We're gonna do a few things over the next few days, or I'm gonna do a few things over the next few days, and I want to take you along for that ride. So come along and see what we can get. Now that I am underway and on my way to Death Valley, the 93 degrees on the dashboard started going up steadily, which honestly made me a little bit concerned about the heat. But I was prepared as I was going to be at this point, so I just settled in and enjoyed the open road and scenery while heading towards the entrance of the Death Valley National Park, where I made a quick pit stop. Because it was near lunchtime at this point, I began questioning the safety of the idea of actually stopping for photos in Death Valley though. Once getting past the first range of hills and mountains, you can really see the landscape change with some of the geological features that Death Valley is known for. Because of the increasing heat index, I did feel it was wise to skip some of the sights along the way at this point though. Okay, making good time. Just stopped at the Ryan Junction Information Center to get the pass, the entrance pass for Death Valley. I'm officially in Death Valley now. It is hot. Temperature on the dashboard says 108. I just passed Zabriskie Point, heading down the hill. Pretty soon I'll be near the interchange to go down to Badwater Basin, where there's a hotel and whatnot there called the Oasis or something. I don't know. But yeah, we're making good time. About 106 miles from Lone Pine, California. But yeah, so far, as you can see, kind of going behind me, that the scenery is lovely, and I'm now entering the Furnace Creek area. This is the Death Valley Inn. Like I said, this is the turn that goes down to Badwater, and this is the Badwater Basin along in here. So at this point, and actually there's a sign coming right up here. Hopefully I can zoom in on it a little bit. I am at sea level and still going down. So welcome to Death Valley, everybody. This part of the trip is pretty cool for me because, as you know, I was through here about a year ago, and I, spent some time around the various portions of Death Valley. It was significantly cooler at the time, and just in the last few minutes that I've been talking to you, the temperature is now up to 110. So it's pretty hot out. Air conditioning in the car is still cranking right along, and still keeping things cool. I know there's a certain point where I'm going to gain a lot of elevation pretty quickly and going uphill, so I may have to turn the AC off for a little bit just so I can conserve power in the vehicle, but also not overheat the motor at the same time. So I'm officially in Furnace Creek, elevation of minus 190 feet. So cool stuff. So now that I've left Furnace Creek, I've arrived at the Mesquite Flat Sand Dunes, and I decided that because of the temperature, it was probably best if I just got out of the car for a moment, took a cell phone photo, and then went over to the Stovepipe Wells General Store in order to get some souvenirs and maybe a bathroom break. Because once being finished at the Stovepipe Wells General Store, the road gets pretty windy and turny and twisty, and in some areas without guardrails, in places that I would normally think that you would have guardrails in order to keep you from falling off the edge of a cliff and dying.
But the nice thing is this does not last too long, because after you pass the Father Crowley Outlook, you get some nice big long straight flat roads with nothing but the Eastern Sierra in the background.
So now that I've arrived, I should probably tell you what I'm actually up to. So, like I said, I had a work trip in Las Vegas. It's 4 hours from Lone Pine, California, to the Alabama Hills, which is where I'm at right now, as you can see behind me. There's a couple of cool things out here that I missed the last time that I was here. So I wanted to come out and, since I had the opportunity, and maybe take some photos, have a few more adventures, wander around. Wind is pretty heavy right now, but up along here somewhere is Mount Whitney. I'm not sure if you can see that on there. I can't see it from the screen, but yeah, so I'm gonna try to do some astro up here this weekend. I'm gonna try to do sunrise up here this weekend, and maybe check a couple other things out. But you're along for the trip, so let's like I said earlier, let's see what I can get. But welcome to the Alabama Hills. So I did some scouting around today, found this cool spot. I decided to come up here because of the, wait, turn the AC down a little bit. It was abandoned actually when I came up here this afternoon. But the nice thing is when I came up here, the overall things are still relatively empty. There's a van over here, a camper van, with an air conditioner or generator or something running. So there's really nobody else around. When I was coming up here, I could see a lot of stars, even with lights in my eyes and everything else like this. When I first pulled up, I got out of the car. I shut the headlights off, got out of the car, and I sat here and let my eyes adjusted, and I could really see a lot of stars, and it's really cool. So I'm kind of excited about what I can get here. So this is I'm a little amped up now too, because I took a nap before coming up. But the gonna set up the tripod. I put my Hyrix 15mm on here. I actually have a filter for blocking out certain wavelengths of light to help with like light pollution. I have another video that I'm working on to kind of explain that, so that'll be some other time. But I'm gonna throw that filter on here. I'm using the 15mm. Probably gonna run 15-second exposures. I'm gonna try the hyper, I forget the term now, but basically like 6 seconds would be like the most accurate, pinpoint kind of stars. I'll start with that, try it out for a little bit, but then I'll probably move to about 15 seconds for each exposure, so that way I can get more light, maybe get some more stars out of it, and that way I have a lot more data to stack up. Not sure how long I'll hang out here for, but I know that if I'm doing 15-second exposures, I'll have probably about 220 or so images by the time I'm done. So let's go set it up and see what we come out with. All right, so I've been sitting here for an hour and a half. Obviously I'm a little tired. Right now I've got the camera with the lens cap on. It's taking some dark frames in order to help bias some of the stacking that I'm going to do. You can kind of hear it clicking back and forth. I'm totally ruining my night vision right now, but that's okay, because I'm going to get moving. I might make one more stop on the way back to the hotel to try something, but it might wait for tomorrow night. I don't know. I'm kind of tired. It's just after midnight right now, so it's time to pack it in, I think. But overall, this is pretty cool. Like, you can really see, like I said, when I first got here, I said there's a lot of stars out, and you can really see a lot. So and you really can, once your eyes adjust to the darkness, it's really, really quite impressive. So I'm hoping some of the photos, I hope I can stack these photos together into something into something decent. But yeah, I'm tired, so I think it's time to head back. Well, even though it's a little bit loud here, I came up to Whitney Portal because I wanted to actually see what the store was and trailhead and all that good stuff, and just get a good look around. I was expecting to come up and get lunch and then head back to the room to finish editing last night's photo. Last night's photo came out pretty damn good, I have to admit. Yeah, so now, of course, because I'm up here, I've seen a whole bunch of really awesome stuff. Not that I was expecting not to see anything awesome, but the reason why it's so loud here is because we got a giant waterfall coming down the mountain that I'm going to try to take some pictures of. So I'm going to hang out here for a little bit and see if I could get anything decent of this waterfall. Right now it's like 2 in the afternoon, 2:30. Actually, it's 2:19 to be exact. And you know, the sun is still pretty high in the sky. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool here. Glad I took the ride. So just as a word of caution for anybody who's afraid of heights, the road up here is going to be terrifying. I get about 15 to 20 miles an hour the entire way because I am a chicken and a coward and not afraid to admit it. So yeah, he's down. But yeah, it's not too bad. Like once you get past like where the gate is, then it's kind of a couple of switchbacks coming up, and the switchbacks aren't too bad, but yeah, there's not a lot of guardrails. So yeah, it was a little scary for me, but definitely this is a place to put on the bucket list for sure. Well, here I am, last day of the trip, or last night of the trip. Start making my way home tomorrow. Even though it's been short, this has been very rewarding and uplifting and fun and every other adjective that you could potentially even bring up. Yeah, I've gotten to do a couple of things that I didn't get to do last time. Yeah, so this has been a fun trip, and it's been a nice kind of side quest from my original trip that was work related. So being able to have a few days to get into a photography mode, come back to some place that I loved being, and come back and do some things on my own that I didn't do or didn't have an opportunity to do last time. You know, it's not often that you know, somebody working full time has the opportunity to just gallivant across the country for a few days to take photos. So this is kind of cool. You know, it's nice to be able to take advantage of the fact that I was, you know, coming relatively nearby to you know, for a work thing, and I could fulfill this kind of journey and dream. So enough of that rambling on. So last night, what are we doing here? What am I doing here? So first things first, the sun is starting to go down over here. That should actually start poking down behind the ridge pretty soon, which means I might get some nice rays coming across the range here in front of me. I got Lone Pine Peak and Mount Whitney, Thor's Peak or something like that. Mount Williamson is over here somewhere too. So it's, you know, there's a lot of different peaks here that I can, you know, kind of take a few shots. I wanted to do a few things with the the telephoto lens, because I wanted to be able to zoom in and get some details and such. The next thing I'm going to do is once the sun is down, and the moon goes down not too long after that. So once it gets good and dark, the stars should start coming out, and I want to actually see if I can build some star trails going down behind the ridge, either behind like Lone Pine Peak or Mount Whitney or something like that, just to see how that would come out. You know, see what the star trails would look like. You know, and again, I would do that with my telephoto lens because I'd like to have Mount Whitney, you know, in there. I don't know how I'm going to make sure that it's illuminated. you know, there's still some details that I didn't quite work out. This was a last minute idea, so no planning whatsoever. So I'm just kind of winging it at the moment. After last night being so successful and turning out better than I had anticipated, you know, winging it a little bit, I guess, is a little kind of in the order, you know, and gonna hang out and see what this turns out to be. So here we are, eastern end or eastern entrance of Death Valley National Park. I am making my way back to Las Vegas at this point to start making my way home. This has been an epic adventure, even as short as it is, you know, with only being a couple of days. There's been a lot of cool things that I got to see and do and everything else, and so now I guess I should head home. So as you can see, I've made it home okay. I really do appreciate you coming with me on this journey, especially for my first vlogging adventure. This is something that I do want to start to incorporate more often in some of my videos on this channel, and I hope these come together well and you enjoy them. I did come home with several great photos that I absolutely love from this trip. The last few minutes of this video is going to be a quick slideshow of those photos, but also make sure to keep an eye out on my social media feeds to see the photos as they come out from this trip. So like I said, thank you for coming with me on this. I do appreciate it. If you can give me a like on this video, that would be great. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And again, as always, to get out there, take some great photos. Thank you for coming along, and I'll see you real soon.